So I think I may title this a shout out to Derek Domino. On my main page of my channel, if you look down, you will find channels worth a sub. I've got to add to it. Believe me, I really do. But they're definitely channels worth a sub. And one in amongst them is Derek Domino. And he did a vid today with the title Modern Ireland's Faces of Evil. We are Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, the subject matter, I think this is an Australian comedian. In fact, I think he says that in this video. But I would say the point is still very relevant, especially how abortion has literally gone through the roof in Ireland in the last few years. And it's about the mindset. So with that in mind, I'll play you this short clip.
Here, last 12 months. That's the celebration. That is the celebration. I kid you not.
Yeah, celebrating. Took my wife out for fancy dinner to celebrate her doing 300 abortions for the year. Honestly, it's they're not even hiding it. You know, does anybody really ask things like, what are the motivations of people celebrating this kind of thing? And have you noticed how so many of them, no matter what they do for a living, go from strength to strength? They get recommended, they get promoted, they get, a lot of attention, adulation, you name it. I mean, the mindset, think about that. Took my wife out for fancy dinner to celebrate her doing 300 abortions for the year. The mindset of that.
In the last year, last 12 months, that's the celebration. That is the celebration. I kid you not. This is not a wind-up. It's not AI. This is real. This is absolutely real. They are celebrating, as you can see, very, very happily, ecstatically, excitedly. They're happily celebrating that one of these people has performed 300 abortions in the last 12 months. She's ended the life of 300 human beings.
Unborn children, yeah. That's basically it. Now, I looked into this Geraldine Hickey, and on her own Twitter page, okay, X, whatever you want to call it, highly recommend getting along to this if you can. This was September 26, 2023. Highly recommend getting along to this if you can. If you've met my wife, you'll know she's very passionate about access to safe abortions. Probably her favourite thing to talk about. So it's very exciting she's on the panel. Now, you click and the website no longer exists and all the rest of it. But the mindset of that, the last thing she did, I think, was August 2024. But I found this about her from the Edinburgh Reporter, apparently, from August 2023. So, Geraldine Hickey is a popular comedian in Australia where she won the Best Show Award at the 2021 Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Not yet a household name, but a talented comic who has put in the work over many years and whose star is on the rise. Now, for those in the occult, the star is on the rise. Well, yeah, pentagrams is what they're really talking about. Occultism. But anyway, regularly appearing on radio and television and selling out shows across the country. So it's a treat for Edinburgh audiences to get up close and personal in an intimate show at a venue that is exactly as its name suggests, a box. Mickey's stage presence is warm and calming with an almost whispered delivery that feels like sitting down for a natter and a cup of tea with an old friend. An old friend that takes her wife out to celebrate the fact that she's killed 300 unborn children in 1 year alone. Yeah, that type of individual, yeah. A friend who's obsessed with birds. She'll even sell you postcards after the show of photographs she's taken of her favourite feathered friends, including the rare orange-bellied parrot, and has a wife whose passion is driving carriages pulled by the couple's 2 horses and a pony. Now, we know that her wife's passion is about access to safe killings of unborn children. That's basically it. That's what we're seeing in plain sight. Yeah, and this, I would argue, is pretty much by and large the mindset of what we've got when it comes to health services in pretty much most Western countries. And we wonder why we have a native Western population issue. Seriously. Because they go out their way to promote everybody who's basically essentially anti-family, traditional family units, and this is part of ongoing eugenics. In fact, I said a couple of things. At its core, we're dealing with an interconnected death cult. Another one I said was the pushing of do what thou wilt. Yeah, if it feels good, do it, They are promoting, well, basically psychopaths, psychosociopathic lunatics. I mean, who in their fucking right mind, even fucking 15, 20 years ago, would come out with that? Now it's to be embraced. Seriously. Now it's to be embraced. Seriously. Anyway, as always, I could do a better job. It's a hard vid. It's a hard subject. But this is the mindset that's getting promoted. Television, comedy, you name it. Ultimately, it all ties into this continual destruction of Western civilization. And I'll speak to you soon.